Campbell just dropped a bombshell, and by the end of this video you will understand why this could shake the foundation of Holness's JLP and change everything before the next election. Stay with me.
We've reported Minister Vaz to the Political Ombudsman. His conduct breaches standards of peace and fairness. It undermines our democracy. We demand Minister Vaz retract his comments immediately and reflect on his repeated use of threatening gestures. To all leaders, exercise integrity. The PNP remains committed to peaceful politics. We will protect Jamaica from fear-mongering and division.
The conflict ignites. Now let's set the stage. Sunday night, Central Kingston, a JLP political meeting in full swing. Flags waving, speeches blazing, supporters rallying, and then bam bam bam, gunshots rang out. MP Donovan Williams is on stage. Chaos erupts. And in the heat of the moment, the JLP's own Daryl Vaz makes a move that will ignite political warfare. We will not be intimidated by the desperate attempts of those trying to derail our campaign. But here's the twist. The police immediately confirmed this wasn't politically motivated. So why did Vaz imply it was? Enter Dr. Dayton Campbell, the PNP's General Secretary, and the man who just called out the JLP's top brass. Do you think that gunfire was random or staged to send a message? Jamaica politics hot right now. Let's discuss in the comments below. The call out and the clap back. Dr. Dayton Campbell wasn't having it. Reckless, dangerous, inflammatory. That's how he described Vaz's statement. And he didn't stop there. He filed an official complaint with the Office of the Political Ombudsman. Now here's where things get juicy. Instead of backing down, Vaz doubled down. Moral authority? Dr. Dayton Campbell really? Yup. Daryl Vaz threw shade at Campbell, questioning his moral standing, not just sidestepping accountability, but flipping the attack like a seasoned political tactician. No, we're not saying Holness script this, but let's just say the JLP's strategy of staying in power might be using outrage as fuel. And Campbell, he's pulling back the curtain on a political game that's deeper than most Jamaicans realize. Do you think Daryl Vaz should apologize for his statement after the shooting? Or was Campbell just playing politics? Drop your take in the comments below. I'm reading every comment. The power game exposed. Let's zoom out. What's really at play here? The JLP is trying to hold onto marginal constituencies like Central Kingston, where every seat matters in the next general election. The PNP, under pressure, has been gaining momentum from recent controversies surrounding the Integrity Commission and Holness himself. And any public sign of chaos, especially gunfire, can be weaponized in political messaging. But when Daryl Vaz used a community tragedy to paint the opposition as dangerous, Dayton Campbell saw the bigger game and called check. And now the political ombudsman is in the mix. The police high command is investigating, and the narrative has officially spiraled out of the JLP's control. The real question isn't who fired the gun, but who fired the first political shot. If elections were tomorrow, would this incident change your vote? Vote with green for JLP or orange for PNP and tell us why. So now we are left with two massive questions. One, will the Political Ombudsman sanction Vaz for his comments? Two, and will his blowback force Holness to rein in his cabinet pitbulls before the next campaign cycle explodes? We're watching the story unfold in real time. And trust me, this isn't the last political scandal we're gonna see in the lead up to elections. Imagine this happened at a PNP meeting instead of JLP. How would the media and politicians react then? Let's be real. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe for more no-spin political drama and comment below. Do you think Daryl Vaz crossed the line? Or was it just politics as usual? Let's debate in the comments down below. JLP or PNP? Which party acting more shady in this saga? Vote with an emoji and explain why. I'm reading every reply. Let's go. Comment down below. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Gunfire near JLP meeting. Not politically linked, police say. Vaz makes controversial statement blaming desperate opponents. PNP's Dr. Campbell calls comments reckless, inflammatory, and reports Vaz. Vaz refuses to apologize, questions Campbell's moral authority. Political Ombudsman and Police High Command stepped in to investigate. Bigger game exposed, using fear and optics to sway public perception. West Portland Member of Parliament MP Daryl Vaz is rejecting calls to withdraw statements he made to the audience at the Jamaica Labour Party's JLP constituency conference in Central Kingston on Sunday night. So, like we hear where Vaz have to say, let's listen up.
I see some laborites that go down the road and them say, boss, nobody go there, no. The man, them a fire up a whole heap of shot. They say, oh, when I come close, I see a police car. They say, boss, be careful. They say, don't worry yourself, man. Let me tell you something. They are so desperate, Desmond, that they are prepared to do anything. But we not afraid of gunshot. No time at all. But it is a sign and a signal. Take sleep and mark death.
You said they are so desperate, Desmond. Who are the they? I mean, I put that in air quotes. You're referring to. Who are the they were desperate? Ahafi, your political opponent, it must be the PNP. I can't nobody else. Your accusations would imply that, and clearly pointing towards your political opposition. So even though you never call no name and you never say, oh, at the PNP, it is obvious who's being implicated in your statement and your utterances. And that's what makes your statement very dangerous. The JLP supporters, them are an idiot. They can read between the lines and know say, yeah, I a political opponent here attack at the PNP, even if you never call the name.
It will be irresponsible of me to say that because I just came on the scene and I knew nothing. Nothing at all. What I know is what I have been seeing going on and hearing going on over recent weeks and months. And it's not impressive. And it's coming from that side more than it is coming from my side. And I have cautioned both sides in recent on the platform publicly that we must campaign on our performance and campaign on our plans and campaign on our policies and do not campaign against personal attacks
So come on now, Daryl Vaz. Based on your own words, you say you just come on the scene. You don't know what go on, you don't know what's happening. So why the first assumption and the first conclusion where you jump to is to blame the opposition PNP for say, oh, are them a bus shot? You see me? Why would that be the first conclusion you jump to? You have no proof and or evidence or any facts to support your statement. So, you not only mislead the JLP crowd where did it, but you also make false statement and false accusation on the opposition PNP. More like a una try incite some form of political violence. Why would you make an irresponsible statement like that? And to add insult to injury, you refuse to apologize. Typical JLP no staying true to form. Them love come out strong and wrong. And refuse to acknowledge and take accountability, say, oh, I was wrong, and apologize. JLP now do that.
I am watching very carefully, and I have been warning for many, many weeks the type of politics, the type of utterances, and the type of actions that have been taking place. Not today, not yesterday, for weeks. And instead of getting better, it's getting worse. And the fact of the matter is that I'm very, very uncomfortable with the rhetoric on the PNP platform, who they bring on their platform, and more importantly, what is said on their platform, what is said off of their platform, and the recent incidents in relation to the buses that just came to Jamaica and was handed over. I'm watching a very, very careful trend, which I don't like. I made no mention last night of PNP in anything that I said. Zero.
Of course, Daryl Vaz, that was a perfectly crafted statement. You never mention the PNP, but what is not mentioned can be implied. It can be inferred. You see me? It can be interpreted as you are indirectly referring to your political opponents without even calling their name, because you say they are desperate. Desman. Who are the they that could be desperate? More importantly, on several political platforms, we hear more than one JLP persons call the PNP desperate. So yes, it was very irresponsible to make a statement like that. So the JLP supporters can read between the lines and know, say, indirectly, them know who you are refer to without even you calling any names or mentioning any specific political party. So that doesn't absolve you of any accountability or responsibility for your reckless and dangerous statement. Your statement was so perfectly crafted and worded, one could also assume that the whole thing was staged. You see me? Yes. Uno stage it, Uno set it up, Uno make the gunshot them fire deliberately. You see me? I for one, I don't believe say at the PNP come they come fire no shot. Me no believe that none at all. The same way how me no believe say at the PNP I lick out the glasses in the bus them. Me believe say that is also staged by the government and just I blame the PNP and I say see the violence them a mash out the glass them out the bus them. Me no believe say PNP them a do that. Me believe say them a set up the PNP because they're desperate to stay in a power. It makes absolutely no sense for the PNP them just randomly start mash up the bus them for what? The bus carry everybody. The bus carry Labour Right and PNP. So if I wanted to make my political opponent look bad, of course would have pull a stunt like that too. You see me? And blame them. Me personally, yes, of course me look out the window them. Yeah, then cheap, me can buy them back. But what? Me lick them out, me go take the picture, me go send it, go give the media outlets and say, see it, I PNP them always a stone the bus them. Always a mash up the bus them. You see me and I lick out the glass them. So even when I not PNP do it, at them I will get the blame. That's just my opinion. What you said and what you did was very irresponsible and highly dangerous. What if one of the stupid, illiterate supporters were they in the crowd take what you said to heart and decide to say, that's what them a do? What the next PNP rally there? Yeah man, the same thing what them do to we are the same thing we are gonna do back to them. So anytime them rally a keep again, we are gonna go squeeze a few too. I wonder if you understand what you say and what can be the ripple effect of what you say if somebody stupid and illiterate in a crowd take what you say seriously. Can me just wonder why you make a statement like that and then you come out and talk about me not apologize, because me never know what happened. Me just come on the scene, and the mere fact that you just come on the scene and you say you don't know what happened, that are the statement to come out of your mouth. Make that make sense. It's giving desperate. Yes, it's giving very desperate. When the desperate for hold on to power and stay into power. You see me? That's what it's giving at this moment. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says the senior JLP member should withdraw the comments which have been referred to the office of the Political Ombudsman. So, make we hear where Dayton Campbell have to say.
We've reported Minister Vaz to the Political Ombudsman. His conduct breaches standards of peace and fairness. It undermines our democracy. We demand Minister Vaz retract his comments immediately and reflect on his repeated use of threatening gestures. To all leaders, exercise integrity. The PNP remains committed to peaceful politics. We will protect Jamaica from fear-mongering and division.
So, me go play an excerpt from Nationwide News Network. Let's listen up. Big up Nationwide.
This was Daryl Vaz's comments following the disruption of a JLP meeting due to the sounds of nearby gunfire.
I see some laborites go down the road and them say, boss, nobody go up there, The man, them a fire up a wood if a shot. They say, when I come close I see a police car. They say, boss, be careful. They say, don't worry yourself, man. Let me tell you something. They are so desperate, Desmond, that they are prepared to do anything. But we not afraid of gunshot. No time at all. But it is a sign and a signal. Take sleep and mark death.
The police have since stated that the shooting incident was not politically linked. In a release on Monday, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell says Mr. Vaz's premature comments were not only dangerous, but also inflammatory. Dr. Campbell says he should withdraw the comments.
We've reported Minister Vaz to the Political Ombudsman. His conduct breaches standards of peace and fairness. It undermines our democracy. We demand Minister Vaz retract his comments immediately and reflect on his repeated use of threatening gestures. To all leaders, exercise integrity. The PNP remains committed to peaceful politics. We will protect Jamaica from fear-mongering and division.
But the senior cabinet minister in response is questioning the moral authority of Dr. Campbell to level such an accusation.
I am watching very carefully, and I have been warning for many, many weeks the type of politics, the type of utterances, and the type of actions that have been taking place. Not today, not yesterday, for weeks. And instead of getting better, it's getting worse. And the fact of the matter is that I'm very, very uncomfortable with the rhetoric on the PNP platform, who they bring on their platform, and more importantly, what is said on their platform, what is said off of their platform, and the recent incidents in relation to the buses that just came to Jamaica and was handed over. I'm watching a very, very careful trend, which I don't like. I made no mention last night of PNP in anything that I said. Zero.
Minister Vaz says he made no claim that the PNP was involved in the shooting.
It will be irresponsible of me to say that because I just came on the scene and I knew nothing. Nothing at all. What I know is what I have been seeing going on and hearing going on over recent weeks and months, and it's not impressive. And it's coming from that side more than it is coming from my side. And I have cautioned both sides in recent on the platform publicly that we must campaign on our performance and campaign on our plans and campaign on our policies and do not campaign against personal attacks.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
You see, they knew the PNP had nothing to do with the gunshots from morning. And the mere fact that they would have stooped so low, you see me, if you try imply or infer otherwise, show you how desperate the JLP is and how much them fear the PNP going into the elections. And when me say fear, me mean them know them not have the political leverage as it relates to leading in the polls, them know them no must win the election. Them know the PNP have a strong chance of winning the election. And that they fear. That's why them fear the PNP. So them a pull every trick out of the hat and I try push a narrative to say, oh, based off even how Vaz speak and how him a word in sentences, I push it like say, oh, the PNP is the one who been pushing political violence with them blood and fire campaign song, you see me, and their statements and their utterances totally take everything what the PNP do and say out of context. I try spin the narrative in a one negative way, which is not true. The PNP now push no form of political violence. The JLP come to that wrong conclusion all upon their own. Even Ray Charles and the three blind mice could have say the JLP is actually desperate because third term is not loading. Let me repeat, third term is not sure. Third term is not confirmed. So make we see come August, if Holness I go set the date and make we know say yeah man, 9 September it go happen. Make we see, cause it keeps going down to the deadline and now no date can't set. We hear rumors are circulating in political circles say Holness I try get it moved constitutionally to a December election date. You can't have election and keeping a Christmas. That don't make no sense.
There is a prime minister who in 2020 in the middle of COVID called an election 6 months early because he had an advantage. Now we are down to the wire and he has his Minister of Constitution and Legal Affairs talking about December. Call the election now if you are not drunk umbrella.
When they did have the political advantage in a COVID, the political advantage when they did have over Peter Phillips in a 2020. Them run go call election like maybe 6 months before the due date. That's how confident the JLP was, say them did go beat Peter Phillips and the PNP. That them call election 6 months before the due date. So now me no want hear no excuses from the JLP or JLP supporters. But no, on September yet, on the due date yet. No, that now go fly, because we can reference history.